And it's Ken Kreitzer in New York City for CBSI Services at the rechristened Marketing Idea Exchange. I have a chance to talk with our speaker today, David Dunne, CEO of Velocidi, a native of Ireland. David, great talk today about how marketers are using data to really improve the customer experience, and you had some thoughts about the best ways for marketers to do that.
Yeah, so I think really it all begins with the audience insights and digging into those as early and as fast as you can and understanding what it is that motivates an audience to do something, get engaged with the brand, and ultimately take action. As soon as you can understand and uncover that data, then you can unleash your creativity and actually start talking to the audience in ways that matter to them.
And certainly we've seen, certainly this holiday season, a huge amount of retail sales online, but then also retail and marketers trying to, again, find out what customers are most interested in, find if there's a way they can offer another service for something that a customer is expressed interested in. What are some of the things that a marketer should do to try to give the customer the best experience possible?
Well, I think the retail experience versus the maybe the product experience are two slightly different things. The online retail organizations, the big e-commerce players, have done an incredible job of making it really easy for their customers. Point, click, and the stuff's on your doorstep the next day. And I think the traditional retailers have a lot of catching up to do in that regard. They've not done a good job of maybe integrating their e-commerce and their store experiences. And so for the few firms who have, they're experiencing a lot of growth in both e-commerce and traditional retail. But I think the retailers, the traditional retailers, have really struggled with this changing world that we live in. In terms of the brands themselves, they've also had a lot of tough times, right? Because they're fighting for shelf space, they're fighting for market share and awareness about their products, and increasingly the big box retailers have been driving the purchase price of those products down. So they're feeling downward pressure in the pricing. But ultimately, the brands who are doing the best today in today's environment are using data to understand what their audiences are interested in, and they're making sure that the marketing that they're doing deeply resonates with those audiences. And
you mentioned that the importance of asking customers questions about what they specifically like or might not be interested in. Where do you find it appropriate to ask questions of a customer about what their interests and preferences might be in different types of marketing, merchandise, or services?
There's really no limit to where and when you can ask. You can find that information within ads. You can find that information, by presenting options to people within an ad, for example. You can ask questions, give options within an interactive email. You can do point of sale interaction, which is connected to things that are happening offline and online. There's really no limit. The real question is the marketer prepared to ask the right questions to make, and if they get the answers from the consumer, they're prepared to change their marketing, change how they engage with that customer as a result of what they've learned.
And David Dunne, CEO of Velocidi, if you would just tell us a little bit about your company and the services that you provide.
Thank you. Yeah, Velocidi is a marketing intelligence company, and we focus on two things: data and analytics for advertising and marketing. So we help marketers at brands and agencies to tell the story of what's happening within their campaigns and to understand what's working, what's not, and how to optimize it. And we also have a content business that is helping to create the content that engages with those audiences.
That's great. I know I mentioned you're a native of the Dublin area, and maybe just describe a little bit about your career.
Yeah, I started my career in Ireland in retail, funny enough, and spent a number of years there working for a local retailer called Penny's. Moved to the States in the 80s and got involved in the restaurant business. Went back, lived in the UK for a number of years where I stayed in the restaurant business, came back to the States in the restaurant business, and then about 20 years ago invested in a startup business in digital marketing and launched a company called .com Interactive in 1995 and have been in the digital marketing space ever since.
That's great. You've had quite a bit of success. And I just want to thank you for your talk here at the Marketing Idea Exchange.
Thanks so much indeed. Lovely to meet you.
Great. David Dunne, CEO of Velocidi. This is Ken Kreitzer for CBSI Services in New York City.